I have always maintained that Tanzania is where I belong, and therefore returning home after a lengthy spell in exile is a matter of great happiness to me.
In one of my interviews with you, you were doubtful that President Samia Suluhu Hassan was a reformist, in contrast to her predecessor, the late President John Magufuli. Do you have a change of mind now that she has lifted the ban on opposition rallies?
In her first 1 year of her administration, President Samia Suluhu Hassan gave us many reasons to be skeptical about her reformist credentials. But in all fairness to her, she has changed significantly from that time. It's not only Mr. Mbowe who was released, the charges against him dropped, but there were over 400 political prisoners belonging to our party alone who were in prison, and she has released them all. She has initiated a dialogue with our party, and as a result of these initiatives, as a result of these efforts, she has eventually lifted the illegal ban on political activity that had been in place for 7 long years. And so it is fair to say that while the beginning was not promising, she has changed tack and she is moving in the right direction, and that's why I'm returning home.
You said in your tweet that you are returning home to get back to work. Does this include another run for the presidency in 2024?
I'm returning home to work because the great work of transforming the country politically is facing the nation. The great work of making sure that the country gets a new democratic constitution is one of the biggest agendas of our party for many years. So when I say that it is time to get back to work, it is to get back to work to create the necessary conditions for Tanzania to be a true democracy. And as to elections, those will be determined when we have the right conditions legally and institutionally for free, fair, and credible elections. And at that time, the decision will be made obviously by my party and myself, whether I want another tilt for the presidency or not.
You had said, Mr. Lissu, that in order for you to return home, the government must guarantee your safety. Do you have such assurance or guarantee?
I have always maintained that for me to return to Tanzania, there must be security assurances. As you know, for someone who survived such a terrible assassination attempt as I did, this is not asking for a lot, I hope. I'm happy to say that when I met the president in February of last year in Brussels, when she came for the EU-AU summit, and we had an hour-long discussion, a talk, she promised me personally that I'll be safe. And that promise was followed by a public statement made in Parliament by the Minister for Home Affairs, who is in charge of internal security. So what the president told me personally in Brussels and the ministerial statement in Parliament are sufficient guarantees, in my view, to enable me to return home.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lissu. It's always very nice to talk with you. Happy New Year to you.
And a very happy New Year to you and yours, Mr. Butty.